is Heng Agek. She has been married to Liao Kwangchun for over 48 years. Like many other couples, together they have gone through thick and thin. However, on the 4th of January this year, their relationship was yet again to be tested.
我在这边，新港这边，我听到他的电话，我就问他做什么，他说我现在在MRD 那边，已经那个眼睛蒙蒙看不见了，你快点来带我。我说 OK， 你不要走哦，你坐在那边等我，不要跌倒我来了，我现在来。到了那边我就扶他上去，我说你要不要去看医生？他说不要了，我打电话给我的朋友先。他打电话给他朋友，好彩他朋友跟他讲，你不要玩，你快点过去，叫你太太带你去看医生啊。我就带他去对面看医生了。
An abnormal connection between arteries and veins caused a rupture in Kwang Chun's brain. This disabled nearly all the functions on the left half of his body. It has been 2 months since Kwang Chun had the stroke, and although his physical condition has improved, he is still disturbed by the mental traumas he faced during the initial stages.
我吃了啥吗？我要给他吃，明明看到嘴巴了，为什么吃不到啊？这第二次再咬再来吃了，你吃不着了。我当时中风了就死掉了喽，什么都不知道吗？我死掉了。哇，那天我第一天进来啊，梦很多梦，很怕人的。以前梦见啊不会怕，在这边梦见了，哎呀，是真的里面了。梦见我死翘翘了，躺那边了，2只马，拖着我去上不要去买账了，这边就很多那个和尚啊在念经，这边就一个佛祖了，这边个佛祖，我都看见佛祖了，我说我不要吃。我说我不要吃。不是这个饭，我不要吃。
Following his diagnosis of stroke, Kwang Chun was admitted to Changi General Hospital. Now, he is rehabilitating at St. Andrew's Community Hospital. Since then, visiting him has been part of Agek's daily routine.
我天天我都要做86，又去换27了，我才去换 MRD 到4美，我还要做9号，那个9号做到那个医院那边还要走一段路了才可以到医院。你看我整天这样，你看会不会累？但是没有办法，我一定要做的。
Before he had a stroke, Kwang Chun was living alone in an apartment at Marine Parade. Working as a financial assistant, he was able to independently support himself. However, after the incident, he was not able to continue working and had to turn to his family members for financial support. As Kwang Chun's son is not working, his daughter-in-law, Penny Ong, is taking care of his Class B2 ward charges and medical bills.
我本来想说，因为 B2 是有 aircon 嘛，然后他会比较舒服一点，所以就想说给他不要这样辛苦，然后舒服一点，然后接受治疗。不过目前他比较好了，我们当然就说可以的话，就把他shift去比较便宜一点的 ward 了。可是只能 upgrade 而不能 downgrade 咯。现在，呀，目前我是唯一的一个经济支柱，只有我做工哦，就会有一点困难。 会比较辛苦一点啊。然后主要花费在教育啦，因为毕竟我3个小孩嘛，然后2个在poly，然后学费是相当沉重的了。然后其次就是水火电哦，因为水火电其实真的很高了。然后电话，然后杂货，然后主要我还要奉养我先生的父母嘛，因为他们毕竟没有做工，那个就占了我很大的一笔数目了。
2 years ago, 32-year-old Aoyong Hoi was going through the same struggles as Kwang Chun. He also had a rupture at the right side of his brain, resulting in most of the left side of his body to be disabled.
The day I had my stroke was 15th of May 2011. That's about 1.5 years ago already. And what happened that day was, it was a Sunday, and I was in the car park washing my motorcycle. So after washing my motorcycle, I was riding it back to the car park to where I park the motorcycle normally, and I passed one of my friends at the gate, and when I tried to greet him, I felt that my speech was slurring, so I knew at that point in time that something was wrong. When I tried to stand up, I fell down. That was when the security guard saw me, and he carried me over to the security guard post. After that, I blacked out. I couldn't remember much. Although I do have glimpses of images here and there of people coming and going. And I remember Rachel, who was my girlfriend, coming in to the hospital. When it happened, of course, it was a bit tough to accept also, because it's entirely surprising. Yeah, so I think the first hurdle for a lot of people is how unexpected it is. Yeah, but I guess for people, you have to learn to accept things, and that will help you adjust back to normal as quickly as possible.
Internationally, doctors around have approved a recommendation of about 3 or more times of therapy sessions a week for outpatients who suffer from stroke. For Hoi, the stroke had a huge impact as he was left-handed. Thus, he had to relearn and take baby steps to return to what was once a normal lifestyle.
I had very severe disabilities because my disability was on my left side, and that was my dominant side, which meant that I could not write anymore. I was an avid gamer before I became ill. So I went to buy a mouse that had 12 buttons on the side. And so for games which I played, I reconfigured it so that I could control it using only one hand.
Although Hoi was handicapped, he did not let his disability drain out his positive mindset.
I started to talk with a lot of patients who were receiving rehabilitation at the CART center, and I realized that quite a number of them had lost their jobs or couldn't go back to work because they couldn't reach the same level of performance as before. And this became something that I continually thought about. Why was it that medical care in Singapore was quite unaffordable for a large segment of people?
Eventually, Hoi started a fund named after his girlfriend Rachel, which stands for Rehabilitation to Cure, Heal, and Enable Lives.
After a few months working with the hospital and talking about this, I got the approval to start this fund, and I put up a note on Facebook to tell my friends that I was raising money for this fund to help patients pay for medical care. The response was extremely positive. I think I got about like 20 overshares and quite a number of likes, and the donations started coming in. The total amount of money that came in was about $39,000. I estimate that this $39,000 to $40,000 should be enough to support, say, 10 patients at a 50% subsidy level for about a year's worth of treatment. Previously, I was never really very aware of, say, disabled people in society or the elderly people in society who have a lot of trouble getting around. But after becoming disabled myself, I do realize that there are a lot of these people around, and that a lot of them need our consideration and our help in when we interact with them in daily life.
In the meantime, Agek continues her daily routine of visiting Kwang Chun at the hospital. Kwang Chun will continue to rehabilitate for a month before moving home. Penny Ong still does not have a viable financial plan in the long run. She currently has to withdraw $400